This video will be a quick how-to for the digital map system on the Blackbird C-130J. The digital map may be displayed on any of the HDDs at any time unless your HUD is stowed or in-op, in which case this HDD in front of you is locked to the PFD. To display the digital map, let's go to the AMU here and select Dig Map. We then select HDD Pause, and then we can put it on any one or more of the front HDDs. I can also go to Defaults and select Tactical. This will put the digital map on HDD 1 and HDD 4, and the radar on HDD 3. The digital map uses charts supplied by Navigraph, and you must have an active Navigraph subscription to use them. When you first display the digital map, it will show a QR code. Scan this code and it will take you to the Navigraph website and prompt you to log in and/or link your account or to subscribe if you don't have a subscription. Alternatively, you can use your browser to navigate to the link and input the code displayed. Once your Navigraph account is linked, the map will populate. If you go a week or so without using the digital map, it might prompt you to sign in again. Otherwise, it will automatically keep your account linked. There are several parameters we can control on the digital map. All settings for the digital map are global. There are no separate channels or settings for pilot and co-pilot. And there's no way to, for example, have a different map zoom level on HDD 1 and HDD 4. Any setting you change affects all digital maps displayed. The first setting we can control is just the color of the overlay. You can set that for whatever gets the best readability depending on what kind of terrain you're viewing. I normally like black or magenta. We can also select the overlays. There are no airport or NavAid overlays because those are already included in the map. But you can overlay Nav Info, which just shows your current course, or Tactical, which will overlay any tactical plots you have defined. And you can, of course, overlay your flight plan. One other thing to note, it's a small thing, but a fun little feature, not a bug. On long legs, you might find that your aircraft symbol is not centered on your course line, even though your HUD, your nav radar display, and every other indication shows you on course. This is actually completely normal and true to the real aircraft. It's just due to the fact that the navigation systems internally all define legs as great circles. The digital map, however, uses a type of Mercator projection, meaning that while all actual lat-long locations, waypoints, aircraft, etc. are plotted correctly, when it draws the legs as straight lines, they don't properly represent the actual great circle paths the navigation system is following. Now let's move from the AMU to the cursor control panel. In order to use this panel to control the digital map, we first have to make sure we've selected the correct HDD to control. Right now, our digital map is on HDD 1, so we need to select Display 1. Now, I can use the range and zoom rocker switches. They'll work here, but you'll get a lot more out of the digital map if you have some hardware to control the cursor. In the Tablet Hardware tab, select Cursor panel. The controls that are important for the digital map are 1. Cursor slew. You can either use up, down, left, right, or you can use XY axis. I like to use the little finger stick on my Thrustmaster Warthog throttle, and that's what I have assigned here. Two, OAP freeze. Assign all of these to a hat switch or similar. 3. Zoom and range. I have these assigned to rockers on my throttle. So let's see how they work. Now, if I hit range increase, it will go from 250,000 scale to 500,000 scale. And if I hit range decrease, it goes back. These are the only two map scales available. But I can still zoom in and out with the zoom rocker. To slew the map and look at something other than the aircraft's position, we use the cursor slew control in combination with the OAP freeze hat switch. OAP down selects cursor stabilization and cursor slewing. OAP down, cursor stabilized cursor slew, cursor stabilization means that the map is centered on the cursor wherever it goes. And cursor slewing means that the cursor control axis moves the cursor. So this is great if you want to then use the cursor to pick off distant lat lons for waypoints or OAPs along your route. OAP right selects ground stabilization and map slewing. This means that the map is centered on a fixed point on the ground and you can use the cursor axis to move that point around without affecting the cursor. This is useful when you want to go explore on the map without affecting your cursor location, which is also used by the radar. Now that I've found something interesting and I want to know the lat lon or turn on the radar to look at it, I can press the OAP hat and this will jump my cursor to the center of the map. Switch me to cursor stabilized cursor slew mode, and also switch my cursor mode to ground, and we'll talk about that in another video. OAP press, ground cursor jump. Now, to jump back to the aircraft, it's OAP left. Aircraft stabilized cursor slew, default. This puts you back in the default mode, which is aircraft stabilized cursor slew, which means that the center of the map is locked to the aircraft position, and the cursor axis moves the cursor. That's it for this tutorial on the digital map. As we upload other videos, we'll link related ones in the description.